What's good, y'all? It's the one and only Cashapp 516 live in the mix. You know what time it is? It is the Swish Flames podcast. Be sure to check out our website, www.swishflames.com. Check out our Twitter at Swish Flames, and definitely check out our brand new Facebook page at Swish Flames Podcast. So let's dive in right into this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to make sure I make a declaration so that the whole world knows. As much as everybody's been getting on Ben Simmons, as much as this offseason, everybody's talking about Ben Simmons is going to be traded. The Philadelphia Sixers really don't want to keep him and all this. And now Ben Simmons is ghosting the Philadelphia 76ers. He's not talking to anybody in the organization. As much as this drama has been going on in the offseason, I just want to talk about Ben Simmons, the player, today. And I want to kind of dive into this because Ben Simmons, I'm hearing a lot of people constantly talk about Ben Simmons. Oh, he can't shoot. He needs to shoot more. Oh, he sucks at free throws. And I get it. He didn't shoot really well from the free throw line. He hasn't really been a great free throw shooter in his career, but in the playoffs, he shot very, very low, an all-time kind of low at free throw percentage in the playoffs this past offseason. I get that. He doesn't take a lot of three-pointers. But here's the thing about Ben Simmons. He's still a hell of a player. And I don't want that to get lost in the midst of everything that's being said, in the midst of everybody bashing him. I get it. I understand why he's getting bashed. But at the same time, we got to remember, there's still a lot of things this guy does great. He is a great passer of the ball. He sees the floor good. Obviously, he's 6'10". That kind of helps. He has great handles for his size. All right? He's a phenomenal defensive player. You know what I'm saying? He was up for Defensive Player of the Year this past season. You know what I'm saying? He almost won it this year. So we know that Ben Simmons is a phenomenal player. And I will say this. Everything that you see that he's struggling with, for the most part, the main thing with Ben Simmons is not, he needs to hit the gym more. He needs to work on the shot. Ben Simmons works on the shot. People act like he doesn't work. He works at a shot. In the offseason, we've seen plenty of footage of him in the gym shooting and hitting shots. Well, guess what? Most NBA players, when you watch them practice, they hit most of their shots if they're wide open. Why? Because these guys are taking thousands upon thousands of shots all the time. So these guys can hit shots when nobody's in the gym. Now the difference is who can hit it once the game happens. Because why? Because now you talk about just nerves hit you. Now you talk about pressure hits you. And so now when you go to the game and inside the game, that doesn't translate for everybody being an outstanding shooter. Some people are great, some people are not. If you watch Ben Simmons' form, his form is beautiful. You see, when I saw other guys earlier on, like for instance, let's use Lonzo Ball as a great example. When Lonzo Ball came into the league, we knew his shot was unorthodox. Lonzo was able to get away with that because of the fact that most of his career, he shot a decent percentage. But it just wasn't good for the NBA. And if Lonzo wanted sustainability in the NBA, he had to fix his shot. Because although he was a great floor general, he wasn't really achieving the heights that he needed on the floor to not be a good shooter. And what happened in his first couple seasons with the Lakers? They would take him out during crunch time because he was a horrible free throw shooter and wasn't a great three-point shooter. All right, Lonzo Ball now has fixed that. But part of him fixing that was changing his shot. I look at Ben Simmons, his form doesn't even look like it needs changing. So what we're dealing with Ben Simmons is not, just practice harder, shoot more shots, get a shooting coach. A lot of Ben Simmons is what you're seeing in his play is mental. So Ben Simmons needs to get some help, you know what I'm saying, to dive in mentally to overcome these things that he's facing. Because there's a confidence issue there, and his confidence was shot during that playoff series versus the Hawks to the point where we saw when he passed up a wide open dunk. You know what I mean? That's when you know it's all in his head. So Ben Simmons has to work whatever's going on in his head to get better and to take it to another level as a player. Yes, he has to work hard. Yes, he has to work on his game. But the main thing is Ben Simmons has to get in his head and get back his confidence. And I believe if he can sort through whatever mental roadblocks he's facing, I believe Ben Simmons can go another level as a player. And let me tell you something. If Ben Simmons can get that sorted out and go through what it takes to sort that all out, and he gets to that next level as a player, the Philadelphia 76ers will forever be pissed off that they traded this guy. You know what I mean? I do not know if he can do that under Philly. I mean, a fresh new start might be best for him. But what I do know, he's facing a mental issue. And let me just break this down for you guys. Some players have mental issues that they never really overcome, and they're never really able to overachieve. Let's just be real and honest. There's a lot of people outside of the professional sports, you know what I'm saying, in everyday lives, might have certain concerns, certain thoughts, certain fears that they never step out of the box of what they need to do to get higher level in life. So some people are walking around not fulfilling everything they need in their life because they might have a mental block, or they have some issues that they haven't sorted out, that they need to sort out in order to go to that next level, so that they're not constantly walking around in circles. So while the media is all bashing Ben Simmons, while they are criticizing him, they're saying that he's, you know what I'm saying, you know, he's a scrub, he's not that good. Ben Simmons is a phenomenal player. He's a perennial all-star. You know what I mean? He's basically a walking double-double. You know what I'm saying? He's going to give you a double-double. He's going to give you a double-double in points and rebounds almost every game. He's literally a walking double-double. And at times he's a triple-double threat because he assists the ball very well. So all I'm saying is, I understand that Philly might be at the place where they're ready to move off of him. Their management looks like they're trying to get a great deal. Eventually they will have to come down on what they're asking for if they want to trade him, which I think they will. I do not see Ben Simmons starting the season off in Philadelphia. If he does, it's a big disservice for him. It's a big disservice for the team. To put this all out there for all the drama that's going on in the offseason, it's going to be best if you move off him. But because of everything that's happened, Philly doesn't really have the leverage. So what they need to do is keep the price high right now to try to build up some leverage so that they can at least get a decent deal, even if they don't get fully what they're asking for. At least if they can get a good amount back, you know what I mean, then they're good. You know, they're really banking on Damian Lillard acting out of Portland before the season starts. That's what they're really banking on, but I don't see Dame doing that. I think what I do see from Dame is that he's going to play one more year with Portland, and if it doesn't go good, he'll ask for a trade next offseason. That is what I think. We'll see how that all plays out. But if you're the Philadelphia 76ers, mark my words, Ben Simmons might be motivated enough to get the help he needs to get over that mental roadblock, whatever he's facing that's hitting his confidence. But if Ben Simmons can step in and have that confidence, and, you know, this is why his next situation, whatever team he ends up in, is going to be crucially important, that they have some real strong veteran presence of people that are really, really good at basketball and that Ben Simmons respects, that can get in his ear. A situation like the Lakers would be great for him, even though that's not going to happen. I understand that. But like somebody like LeBron in his ear can get the best out of Ben Simmons. I truly believe that. I believe if he does end up with Golden State, which is a team that I know he would like to play for, if he has a chance, I guarantee Steph Curry and Draymond Green can get the best out of Ben Simmons. I truly believe that. You know what I'm saying? He needs to be in an encouraging environment, but he also needs to be held accountable. You know what I'm saying? And if he goes to a team where you have, especially a team that has championship aspirations, who's been there and done that, I think that will help Ben Simmons move along. But let me tell you this once again, mark my words. If Ben Simmons gets a hold of that mental, whatever that mental roadblock is, and overcomes that, the Philadelphia 76ers will forever regret trading the guy. I don't care who they get in return. Even if they got Dame Lillard in return, they will forever regret trading that guy, because Ben Simmons is only in his mid-20s, y'all. So Dame Lillard, even if they got Dame is like in his 30s already. You know what I'm saying? So Ben Simmons' career is a lot more to go in his career than even Dame Lillard or whoever the Philadelphia 76ers are going to trade him for. I don't know who they're going to get. I don't know who they're going to go for. But mark my words, like I told you, they will regret it, trading him. Anyhow, let me know what you think about Ben Simmons. Do you think his issue is he needs to work harder, practice harder, get a shooting coach to fix his shot? What do you think? Or do you think and agree with me that it's more of a mental roadblock and he probably just needs to get a professional who understands the human mind, shrink somebody of that kind of ilk and help him dissect in his mind what his roadblocks is and give him a plan of action to help him overcome some of those things. And before we sign out, once again, it's your boy King Cal 516 live in the mix. This is the Swish podcast. Before we sign out, I just want to address one more thing when it comes to this, which is more of a personal matter and a serious life thing, and that's with anxiety. We live in a society that has anxiety. I know I focus a lot on sports, and so this does happen in the world of professional sports. So I would tie it into sports so that we keep the subject matter on the sports level. But there's a lot of athletes that deal with anxiety. You know what I'm saying? Because of the pressure. You understand, these athletes are under a lot of pressure, under the spotlight. You know what I'm saying? And because of that, it gets to some of them. You know, we've seen recently in the past couple seasons, players like Kevin Love come out about, having some, mental health issues. And all of this trauma and all the stuff that these players are facing are real stuff, that they're human beings at the end of the day. And so with anxiety, in the medical field, not to get too crazy in the medical field, but what happens is a lot of doctors end up giving people antidepressants, just basically drugs to calm it down. But what really needs to happen is the understanding that, your triggers of what is anxiety. So, people have different triggers. So some people's trigger might be their finances. Some people's trigger might be their kids. In the world of sports, some people's triggers might be, hey, in the playoff situations where the games count and you can lose and be out, some people's triggers might be that thought might all of a sudden give them anxiety. Some people might be heights. Some people, success could be a trigger. So the key is, what I've learned, because I've dealt with this personally, guys, is to understand your triggers. Start noticing when you have this anxiety, how do you feel? What's making you feel that? What is causing it? All right. And once you're able to recognize what's causing it, I've learned a simple tactic, and I'm just going to share this with you guys before we sign out of here. But I've learned diaphragmatic breathing, expanding your lungs. Cardio. For those who don't run, if you do run cardio, you expand your lungs. If you haven't run in a while and then you start to run, you get tired really quickly. And obviously, the more you keep going, the more you won't get tired and the longer you can run without getting tired. But that lung expansion that happens when you're running, or that lung expansion happens if you just stand still and practice to expand your lungs by breathing deeply and keep taking more oxygen in. You know what I'm saying? That whole experience, what that does is it allows more oxygen to enter into your body. And as you allow more oxygen to enter into your body, your brain can function at a higher capacity, and which gives you more strength to overcome emotions that can get the best of you. All right. So helping your brain operate at a higher capacity is what you want, meaning that you're allowing more oxygen to come in. And the reality is, most people, just naturally speaking on a subconscious level, do not breathe in anywhere near your lung capacity of air that it can take in. You know what I'm saying? So we're all breathing a small percent. So we're all not really getting naturally as much oxygen as we can. So when you force it more in with diaphragmatic breathing, it helps calm your anxiety. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to relate it to sports even more. Back, if you think about LeBron James used to deal with this stuff before big games and stuff like that. And, LeBron in his career has had some mishaps in his career about, you know what I mean? You see some of his failures. LeBron went through some big failures and some big moments. And I remember hearing LeBron speak, and he mentions one thing, before a big game, before it starts, he closes his eyes and just meditates and takes a deep breath. And so I'm here to let you guys know through personal experience. I'm just letting you guys know that meditation, deep diaphragmatic breathing, can help you deal with anxiety. If you learn how to apply it, and whenever you get your trigger and that triggers, if you learn how to apply that automatically, you're going to have to force yourself in the beginning, but it can help you calm down anxiety. But ultimately, you have to step forward in that thing that the anxiety, so that means if you're scared of heights, you got to deal with heights if you want to overcome it. Why are you doing this? Because that's the only way that you can resist it. And the more you do it and operate when these triggers come, the less effect it's going to have on you over the course of time. Like I said, I speak from experience, but nevertheless, I want to see Ben Simmons successful. You know what I mean? And I think he will be successful if he gets into a new situation that's the right situation, that has some veteran presence of people that he respects, but also will keep him accountable, because they all keep each other accountable. In the last couple of seasons, even when Jimmy Butler was on the Sixers, we heard different stories about there wasn't, especially under Brett Brown, there wasn't really a lot of accountability. And Ben Simmons has been allowed to run rampant for the most part, in his career so far. So he really hasn't had that strong accountability system, and I think if he goes to an organization where that's really set up really well, you'll get the best of Ben Simmons. With that said, once again, comment. Let me know what you think. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Do you think it's another issue, to help Ben Simmons get fixed? Whatever you think, please just put it in the comments. Anyway, this is your boy officially signing off this time around. After that long rant, your boy King Cal 516 live in the mix. This is the Swish Fame Podcast. Peace, y'all.